And right now, I'm strictly talking about her body. They are damaging her body. How does someone who's never gotten injured ever in her lifetime suddenly now gets injured? Suddenly now it's a groin, and now it's a quad, and now it's my back. Caitlin Clark got beat up, abused, pushed around, thrown on the floor.
Never injured in her entire basketball career. Not in high school. Not through 4 years at Iowa where she carried the heaviest workload in college basketball. Not through a brutal WNBA rookie season where she got hammered, pushed, and thrown to the floor game after game. 0 missed games. Then Stephanie White arrives with her new training staff, and suddenly Caitlin Clark's body is breaking down. Groin injuries, quad problems, back issues requiring mid-game adjustments. What changed?
Getting hurt. Folks, you ever work out with a buddy? You ever go to the gym with a buddy, with a pal? You guys hit the bench, you guys hit the incline, you guys hit the squat, you guys hit the deadlift. Do your guys' hand placement go in the same exact spot? No. Why? Because your bodies are different. When you guys are squatting, do your feet go in the same exact spot? No. Why? Because you're different. Are they similar? Probably, potentially. But are they the same exact form?
This isn't some fringe conspiracy theory. This is basic exercise science. Your body adapts to how you move naturally over years of repetition. When you force someone to change their mechanics to match a textbook instead of respecting their individual biomechanics, injuries follow. It's the same reason your workout partner can't use your exact form on every lift. Different bodies, different mechanics. The Fever's training staff apparently missed that day in school.
Same trips to the locker room were just for a little maintenance. Quote, just getting my back adjusted. I'm just getting my back adjusted. Is that what this organization is telling you? Caitlin Clark says her quick trips to the tunnel during the game were just, quote, getting my back adjusted. Says it can get out of line pretty quickly, but other than that, I feel great. It can get out of line pretty quickly. Her back adjusted. Folks, if people have...
Watch Caitlin's face when she delivers that line about getting her back adjusted. That's not the confidence of an athlete explaining routine maintenance. That's someone repeating what she's been told to say. And notice what Stephanie White said. They're correcting Caitlin's mechanics. Not maintaining them, not optimizing them, correcting them. As if the mechanics that made her the most prolific scorer in college basketball history were somehow wrong this entire time.
Part of just maintaining the body. This is going to be an ongoing thing, you know, and just... I have never seen anybody get their back adjusted mid-game that wasn't injured, that wasn't hurt. Let's take a listen.
Part of maintaining the body. I mean, you know, as she has adjusted her body, and focused on, I mean, look, I think when we're all really young, we don't learn proper mechanics, and then it doesn't get exposed until something happens. And trying to get her body mechanically the way that it needs to go, this is going to be an ongoing thing. You know, not just her.
Get her body mechanically where it needs to be.
Here's what the beat reporters covering this team should have asked months ago. During the preseason, Caitlin was spotted multiple times wearing a back brace. Not once did Chloe Peterson, Scott Agnes, or any other credentialed media member ask about it on the record. Was that topic on the forbidden list? Because now we're in the regular season and she's leaving games to get her back realigned. This didn't come out of nowhere. Stephanie White's explanation makes it worse. She says Caitlin never learned proper mechanics when she was young, and now they're trying to fix it. That's a stunning admission. You're telling us that Lisa Bluter and the Iowa staff, who developed Caitlin into a 2-time National Player of the Year, somehow failed to teach her how to run and jump correctly?
I've watched tons of sports, basketball, football, baseball, you fucking name it. I've been to the games plenty of times, and I don't see so-and-so randomly get up in the middle of the fucking game while they're on the bench and say, hey, I need my back realigned.
So nothing really outside of that.
This is amateur hour, Indiana Fever. It's amateur hour. It's absolutely amateur hour. Here's Stephanie White in the huddle, looking at Austin Kelly. Hey, Austin, what are we gonna do, buddy? What's going on? I clocked out at 3:30. But you were still there watching film, watching habits, watching routines, seeing what the Dallas Wings do in certain situations. Hey, what are they running here? I tell you guys, Stephanie White clocks in at 6:30 and she clocks out at 3.
This moment right here tells you everything about the organizational dysfunction. Stephanie White literally turns to assistant coach Austin Kelly in the huddle to ask what play to run. The head coach is looking to her assistant for answers during a crucial timeout. If Austin Kelly is the one watching film, identifying opponent tendencies and drawing up plays, then what exactly is Stephanie White's role? She clocks in at 9:30, takes a 3-hour lunch, and clocks out at 3:30 while her assistant does the actual preparation. Meanwhile, the Dallas Wings are running the Fever off the court. 101 points allowed. Stephanie White says after the game that they won't be able to outscore teams in this league. But they can't stop anyone either. So what's the path forward? You can't win by outscoring opponents, and you can't play defense. That's not a strategy. That's organizational incompetence.
Let's watch Caitlin Clark's reaction after the game.
Yeah, I feel good. Started off a little slow, I think. Just the anxiety of the first game, trying to work through that. But overall, I felt good. Felt fast out there. Felt like I was literally a couple buckets away from putting together a really, really good game and helping us win. But our offense is obviously not the issue. We're perfectly fine on offense, and there's still so many things we can do better on that end of the floor. But, you got to give Dallas credit. They're really good. They shot the ball incredibly well. Really, the only quarter we put together was the third. I guess in the fourth we were fouling. So, but, figured it out a little bit there in the third. We just got to be able to do that a little more consistently. But it was a great test. It was a great game. Our locker room was positive afterwards. So we're not going to hang our heads. We're going to move forward. A lot to be proud of. And
if this locker room was positive after and there's a lot to be proud of, Stephanie White, her loser mentality has already infiltrated. If we're positive after this game, if we're happy about how we didn't play defense, if we're happy about how we let the Dallas Wings run roughshod all over us from start to finish, except for one quarter, Stephanie White, loser mentality, has already infiltrated this team.
Listen to the disconnect here. Caitlin says offense isn't the problem, and there's a lot to be proud of from this performance. Stephanie White says they can't outscore teams. Those are two completely different assessments of the same game. Your franchise player and your head coach aren't even on the same page about what went wrong. That's not a communication issue. That's a fundamental breakdown in organizational alignment. But here's what's really concerning. Caitlin says the locker room was positive after the loss. Positive. After giving up 101 points to a Dallas team that shot lights out for 3.5 quarters. After playing zero defense outside of one quarter. That locker room should have been pissed off. They should have been demanding better from each other. Instead, Stephanie White's loser mentality has already infiltrated the team culture. Being positive after terrible performances is how you normalize losing.
Correcting Caitlin Clark's mechanics, and that's why she ran back and forth to the tunnel today. Let's get right into it, shall we? Like the video, hype the video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Caitlin Clark says,
So let's connect all these pieces. The Indiana Fever hired Stephanie White to elevate this team to championship contention. Instead, she brought in a training staff that's trying to rebuild Caitlin Clark's biomechanics from scratch. They're forcing her body to move in ways it hasn't moved for 22 years. The predictable result: injuries, groin strains, quad problems, back issues requiring mid-game chiropractor visits. This is organizational malpractice. Caitlin Clark's body isn't broken. Her mechanics aren't wrong. What's wrong is a coaching staff that thinks they know better than 2 decades of natural movement patterns. What's wrong is a strength and conditioning program that prioritizes textbook form over individual biomechanics. What's wrong is an organization that would rather force their star player into their system than build a system around their star player's natural abilities. Think about what we're watching happen in real time. The most durable player in recent college basketball history is suddenly fragile. The player who took more contact than anyone in the WNBA as a rookie without missing a game is now getting injured in practice. This isn't bad luck. This isn't coincidence. This is the direct result of trying to fix something that was never broken. And here's what makes it even more frustrating. The Fever have the pieces to compete. Caitlin Clark is still one of the most talented players in the league. Aaliyah Boston is a legitimate all-star. Kelsey Mitchell can score. But instead of maximizing those talents, Stephanie White is implementing systems that don't fit, changing mechanics that don't need changing, and creating a culture where losing doesn't hurt enough to demand better. The beat reporters who cover this team have completely failed in their duty to ask hard questions. When Caitlin showed up in a back brace during the preseason, that should have been the lead story. When she started getting her back adjusted mid-game, that should have triggered investigative reporting about what the training staff is doing differently. Instead, we get softball questions and regurgitated talking points from the organization. Stephanie White keeps saying this mechanical adjustment process is going to be ongoing. Translation: Caitlin's body is going to keep breaking down as they continue forcing her to move unnaturally. How long before a minor groin strain becomes a major injury? How long before these back issues become chronic? The Fever are playing Russian roulette with their franchise player's health because they're too arrogant to accept that her natural mechanics are what made her great. This isn't about being negative or rooting against the team. This is about holding an organization accountable for decisions that could derail a generational talent's career. Caitlin Clark should be entering her second WNBA season stronger, more confident, and ready to build on a historic rookie year. Instead, she's dealing with injuries she's never had before, trying to learn new movement patterns her body doesn't want to accept, and playing for a coach who can't even agree with her about whether offense is a problem. The saddest part, this was all preventable. Hire a coach who understands how to maximize existing talent instead of rebuilding it. Hire a training staff that respects individual biomechanics instead of forcing everyone into the same mold. Build a culture that hates losing instead of finding positives in poor performances. None of this is complicated. But the Fever chose the hard way, and Caitlin Clark's body is paying the price. So here's the question for everyone watching. How long do we give this experiment before demanding changes? Caitlin Clark has proven she can dominate at every level when her body is healthy and her natural game is unleashed. The Fever are systematically dismantling both. At what point does protecting a generational talent become more important than protecting a coach's system? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this organization needs to hear from the fans who actually care about Caitlin's long-term health more than short-term mechanical adjustments that clearly aren't working.